Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. And in this video I'm going to be taking on Dimensions End Entropy Tier 15, and for this I'm going to be using a team of Noctis, Garnet and Keiss with a Pandemonium summon. So it's finally my great pleasure to be able to bring you a video with Noctis in it that I'm actually able to do commentary on. I do apologise for not being able to speak before, but to be honest, I tried to record the Odin Challenge quest with voice commentary, but I will be honest, I got to about 5 resets and I just lost patience with repeating myself over and over and over, so I decided to record it, without voice, so I could just keep resetting it until I cleared it. And I think, actually, the first take that I did after I wasn't talking was the take where I actually managed to complete it. So the Odin Challenge quest was absolutely frustrating because of the ridiculous turn rate shenanigans that Odin's got going on, but this isn't the video to complain about that sort of thing. I'm here to concentrate on this ridiculous team lineup right here. So I did actually record a video for Abyss Perfectum 3.7, Stratum 3 Part 7, the one that took me over 120 turns with Earlnash and took me 46 turns with Noctis. The guy is an absolute mentalist. I cannot say enough good things about Noctis right now, but I will try. So the reason actually that I slept on a lot of the early LD and Burst characters was because, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of the early Burst characters are very unremarkable, because their base kits were just not strong enough, in my opinion, to really justify the chasing. Because if you think about it, let's take Van for example. He's pretty good, he's got consistent damage per turn, let's say, in the 100 to 200,000 region, but he doesn't have anything like free turns, and he does have free skills, but those free skills are pretty much what he needs in order to not burn out during a quest. Whereas on the other hand, we've got characters like Alice, for example, who doesn't even have an LD weapon, and she is the strongest attacker. Well, she was the strongest attacker in the game pretty much until Noctis came along. And she definitely outshines Van. And we've got characters like Gabranth, who just have a metric shit ton of utility because they've got, they've got HP damage reduction on the Crystal 65, they've got Brave damage reduction, they've got auras, they've got guaranteed breaks and re-breaks, they've got debuffs, and pretty consistent damage as well. Gabranth EX hits like a truck, so he just brings a lot in one package along to the party. Whereas a lot of the early sort of burst characters, like let's take Squall for example, he is much improved with his LD weapon because it gives him extra skill uses, which he sorely needs, and it gives him extra overflow, which is really good for his his Zokuken. But that's all that he gets. Like, his base kit isn't reworked, he doesn't get free turns, he doesn't get free skills. And even with a burst, he just kind of feels that there's characters you would rather use over him, even though he has a burst, you know what I mean? Because his base kit is the same, until he becomes a god later on. But that's like many months down the line when the start dash banner gets reworked. So even though, yeah, I did pull Squall's burst, and I did even look my way into Shantoto's burst, but I didn't pull for Shantoto's LD weapon because I knew I wasn't going to be using her very much. Actually, I would say Shantoto's probably the best out of the 3 because that guaranteed paralysis on her LD is, it's pretty nice. But Noctis, on the other hand, is just on a completely different level altogether, because not only did he already have more interesting mechanics than those 3 characters to begin with, but he also got a rework along with his LD and his burst weapon. His rework adds splash damage onto his shooting star. It gives him more bravery hits across the board. He gets a stealth battery on his follow-up attacks from point blank warp, and then he gets his LD, which is just absolutely broken beyond all belief, and is a huge part of the reason that he is still in use in the Japanese version, even today, 9 months down the line. And I've been playing a fair bit with Noctis after getting his boards farmed up with different team lineups, and I've just got to say, Noctis and Kuja, I think, are the 2 burst characters I'm going to use a lot. Now, I won't be able to use him in every Lufenia because of the orb conditions, but he is just extremely fun to play right now. It's not just that he's broken, even though he completely is, it's just that his playstyle to me is so appealing because his turn manipulation was one of the things I always liked about him. Okay, so we have a very colourful orb setup here. So I am actually going on Noctis for bravery damage increase orbs instead of attack increase orbs, spheres even. And the reason for that is because I've actually noticed that the enemies have replaced their defense buffs. You know, when they get their invisible buffs in Chaos, the lower their HP gets, they've replaced defense with bravery damage reduction. So essentially what that means is, because we get a lot of stats now from summon boards and from auras from other characters, and we also get a lot of stats from the LD weapon passives themselves, we're going to have enough attack to the point where we're going to be able to penetrate the enemy's defenses really easily. You know, we're not going to be running into the same problem that we did at the start of Chaos, where we've got Kryl that's like hitting for ones on count steam sort of thing. You know, it's not really like that anymore. So it's going to be much, but there is a point at which adding more attack gives you diminishing returns, because if you already have enough attack to overcome the enemy's defenses, adding another 20-30% attack on top of that isn't really going to do as much as if you added a straight, you know, 20-30% bravery damage increase, which is a multiplier. You know, it's not additive, it's multiplicative. So that's why I've given Noctis, I've given him Leo's Sphere, mostly because I wanted to save Cloud's Sphere for Saz, because I know I'm going to be using Saz a lot as well. The guy's a monster. Come on, how can you not use Saz? So I gave this one to Noctis because even though he does have AoE attacks, it's only on his skill 1 and on his LD. Even his follow-up attacks from his point blank warp are single target attacks, so most of his kit gets benefit from this. And then we have Vayne, who just gets straight up bravery damage increase, and then we have Irvine, who, yeah, I went ahead and I purpled Irvine's EX. You know, I'm not completely free to play. I did spend some because I wanted to get some reset spheres to just mess around with spheres a bit more, and I used those extra ingots to purple Irvine because I want my Noctis to be as close to perfect as possible. Speaking of perfect, here are my artifacts. I'm using the 330s because I will not need the crystal 50s here, because we already will do enough damage with Garnet's enchants and on auras. I want the extra max bravery space because there is going to be battery all over the place in this team. It's going to be glorious. Here we have my Garnet with all my crafted spheres. I know this one probably should have been like a lock sphere or whatever it was, like the sneak attack one instead of Van, but here we are. You know, this will do. Like, Garnet's one of those characters where I really like her, and I'm gonna use her, but I'm probably gonna be using Desh more, possibly, maybe, because I like the fact that he has that Kryl effect on his LD where he increases weakness damage, you know. But on the other hand, Garnet has a lot of battery, which is what we want in this team, because Noctis wants all the battery he can get, and here we have Keiss. So I'm actually going again for the max bravery on Keiss because we're actually. I might swap out one of these for an attack passive because we're not in synergy anymore. That was for the Odin. I actually recorded the 0-turn meme video for Odin with no commentary, but I'll upload it because I just wanted to do it. So I've not used Keiss very much, mostly because I was having more fun with characters like Uldnash. But because of how Noctis works, well, I'm not going to use Uldnash over Noctis, you know what I mean? So Keiss is probably going to get to see a lot more use from here on out, because Keiss and Noctis go together absolutely splendidly, because not only can Keiss force a launch, and he batteries with his skill 2, but also Noctis's skill 1, his Shooting Star Plus, also does a launch on all targets. So of course we know how Keiss works. The more launches you get, the more fun you're going to have. And yeah, if we look at the turn count, this was my attempt off camera. 24 turns in the Dimension's End. It's absolutely stupid. So Pandemonium is here for the launch damage, Garnet's for the battery and the imperils, and Keiss also for the battery and the launch shenanigans. So we have two waves. The first wave is a little bit annoying because it swaps elemental resistances and it can become resistant to lightning, which is a little bit of an issue for Garnet because she will run out of skill 1s. But as long as we manage it, we should be fine. And then we have these obnoxious fuckers. Like, I went to town on these guys. I'm not about to let Count Steam get a single turn because I know how it was last time. Let's just say it was a little bit of revenge. So without further ado, let us jump in and have some fun, shall we? Okay. So the way this flan works is that it has a gimmick. We've got these side guys here. So what's going to happen is that when you kill these two off, this thing is going to get a huge bravery damage reduction increase, and it's going to battery itself up to high heaven. So what we want to do is we want to not kill the side dudes directly before this has a turn, because that's pretty much rip. Yeah, that's just not going to be a fun time for anyone. So I'm actually just going to go straight into a hero support on... actually, I'm not going to go into a hero support because these things... Actually, no, they don't have range resistance, they only have magic resistance. So I think I am actually just going to... I'll hero support on Noct. Oh, he does get resisted. Resists everything for some reason. And let's just do a regular shooting star. Okay, that's fine. I don't know why it says resist on that thing. Anyway, okay, so here I am going to Aquamarine. No, I'm gonna Peridot first. Then I'm gonna Aquamarine. Here we are. That's fine. So yeah, we have a little bit of a problem with these guys' bravery right now. But I am absolutely going to do another Shooting Star Plus, and that's probably going to take out the guys on the side. And one thing I really like about Noct's rework as well is that it gives him Armiga stacks on both of his plus skills. Just going to take those out, and this guy is just going to get a huge amount of battery. So what's his resistances at now? So he's weak to water, so I might as well just pop one of these. Yeah, let's do it like this. Okay. And where are these guys? They're over there, so I'm just going to Warp Strike. I'm going to save the LD until I really need it. Okay. So again, I'm not quite sure about these side guys' resistances. Okay, they become resistant to... so they're resistant to magic and to thunder. So again, I'm just going to do one of these. That should be fine. And then we should be able to rotate straight into EX. Alright. That's going to take the side guys out, and that's going to be a bit of an issue for me. I kind of messed up there. And by kind of messed up, I mean extremely messed up. Okay. How am I going to do this? Well, I hope this does a lot of damage. Okay, we're alive. And then I've got Garnet EX, which is on my bravery attack position for some reason. Okay, so that was, you know, a little bit of bad play from me, but all's well that ends well. Okay, and what I'm going to do here with my free skills, you know what, I'm just going to go... what I could do is I could go into set warp advance and be super trolly with the enemies, and in fact, I think I'm going to do that. I mean, that damage is just excellent. see. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to use another one. Let's just bully this this flan, shall we? Okay, and here I am going to... let's aquamarine. And... okay. I think we can pop an LD here. So that's going to take the side guys out, and this guy's going to go into his super chunky mode. But I do have Noctis's EX up right now, so I can pretty much just rotate straight to EX and I'll be fine. Let's not target B over there because that would send Keiss's turn over here. Let's just make sure that we're focused on A because we did use Noct LD, which of course gives everyone turn warping. And here we can see just what a fearsome pair that Noctis and Keiss are together. Of course, Garnet helps too. Okay, and I'm actually going to set up Shooting Star here. I'm going to set this up for the next wave, because we want it to be in the plus version, and we want to be able to use EX. Okay, so that's pretty much this wave over and done with. Wow, that's the first wave already. Okay. So we have 2 uses of LD left. We've got a Shooting Star Plus. Yeah. Let's have some fun, shall we? We can start using Thunderbolt with Garnet over here. Okay, we do have EX up, which is kind of unfortunate, because we're going to have to not use that just yet. I can use it on her next turn, because, yeah, that's the reason. Let's see here. Okay, let's recover all of Keiss's stuff now. Okay, so this is actually perfect, right? So we have 1 use of Conjure Omega left. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get a bit of damage on the dragon over here. What I want to do is I want to use EX and then I want to rotate directly into the burst, because the free skill will actually carry over onto the burst. So if you have Shooting Star Plus set up and you get the free skill, then you start the burst with a launch and you can basically do 2 launches during the burst. So here we don't have any free turns with Garnet, which is excellent. which allows me to pop one of these, and then pop one of these. And then, yeah, do I want to aquamarine? I actually think I do. Just for the bravery regen. Yeah, you know what, I do want to stall these things out of break because we want to keep our turns ahead of them using Noctis's LD. So yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll use the Thunder. Okay, so we've got the free skill. Now let's rotate into the burst. So first we launch over here. For some disgusting damage. And now we use EX over here. Also, look at that brave regen on Noctis, man. Garnet's putting in work. And that LD buff from Noctis actually does give him some respectable brave regen, so as if Noctis wasn't already broken enough already, he like becomes a kind of iBrave character as well. So now you see here, we've got free skill, so we can use skill 1, and then we can use skill 1 again over here, and get another launch. And now we use LD over here and get another launch. So this is kind of a preview to me of what Cloud's BT weapon is going to look like when we get proper launch teams to set it up with, because this is just amazing. And yeah, now I'm gonna use Finish Burst on B so that we can all keep our turns ahead in terms of turn warping. And this animation, the soundtrack, everything about this is just amazing to me. Like, I'm in love with Noctis. Pretty much, this is everything I hoped it would be and more. 1.79 million. I actually got up to 1.8 million last time I tried it. And I can guarantee you these things they're not going to get another turn again. They're just not. So let's do this. And yeah, of course, Noct with his burst follow-ups every turn. Let's see. Yeah, this is actually fine. This is actually fine. Okay, and yeah, we can just aquamarine with Garnet. I'm going to do it on B over here so we stay in front turns wise. Just absolutely obscene. And as if that wasn't enough, let's hero support onto Garnet over here, because A is already set up for launch. And you know what? I could honestly go into summon. I really could. Well, I'm not going to do that. That would be silly. I've not even used my summon. I have not used my summon yet. And we're still on 22 turns. This is just absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, let's yeah. Yep, let's go in front of B. We can get Garnet back in on the action. Just look at all that damage, man. That's ridiculous. Okay, I forgot to use my summon, and we still finished it in 22 turns. If that isn't broken, I don't know what is. Jesus Christ, man. Noctis is... he is a whole phenomenon right now. There's nothing more I can say. So, that is going to be my completion run of Dimensions N15. So this is completely overkill, but I figured I wanted to use Keiss because I've kind of been sitting on him for a while, and I might as well use Garnet because I know that Dimensions N17 is going to be that anti-battery. I'm not sure about 16, but it depends if we'll have characters like, I don't know, maybe I'll throw Arden in there. Maybe, I don't know what I'll do for 16. But I wanted to do something like this because I just want more excuses to use Noctis right now. Because, yeah, you see for yourself what happens. So, thanks everyone for watching, and until next time, take care, and goodbye.